There comes a moment in life when everything feels heavier than you can explain. You wake up tired, not just physically, but emotionally. Your mind becomes crowded with doubt, fear, disappointment, and silent battles nobody else can see. You smile in front of people while carrying pain inside that words could never fully describe. Maybe you trusted the wrong people. Maybe life did not turn out the way you expected. Maybe you gave your best and still ended up feeling rejected, forgotten, or broken. But what if this painful season of your life is not the end of your story? What if this moment is actually shaping you into someone far stronger than you have ever been before? Inspired by the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, understand this deeply. The human mind is far more powerful than most people realize. The struggles you face today are not only external challenges. There are also mental tests that reveal what is happening inside your subconscious mind. Every painful experience carries a lesson, and every difficult season carries the possibility of transformation. The problem is that most people allow pain to convince them that they are weak. They begin repeating negative thoughts until those thoughts become their reality. They say things like, "I'm not good enough, nothing ever works for me," or "my life will never change." Over time, those beliefs become emotional prisons. But the moment you change the conversation happening inside your mind, you begin changing the direction of your life. Pain has a strange way of awakening people. Sometimes losing everything forces you to discover who you truly are. Sometimes heartbreak teaches you self-respect. Sometimes rejection pushes you toward a greater purpose. The strongest people are not those who avoided suffering. They're the people who walked through darkness and refused to stay there. Right now, you may feel emotionally exhausted, but do not mistake exhaustion for defeat. Your current situation is not your final destination. Every challenge you survive is building mental endurance, emotional intelligence, and inner strength that cannot be developed during comfortable seasons of life. The truth is that confidence is not created when everything is easy. Confidence is created when you continue moving forward despite fear, uncertainty, and emotional pain. That is why your struggles matter. They're preparing you for a stronger future version of yourself. Dr. Joseph Murphy often emphasized the incredible influence of the subconscious mind. What you repeatedly believe, feel, and imagine eventually shapes your reality. If you continue focusing only on pain, failure, and hopelessness, your mind will remain trapped in suffering. But if you begin feeding your mind with faith, strength, healing, and possibility, your inner world slowly starts to transform. Healing does not happen overnight, but every powerful transformation begins with a decision. The decision to stop identifying yourself as broken. The decision to believe that your life still has meaning. And the decision to rise again, even after life tried to convince you to give up. The most dangerous thing about emotional pain is not the pain itself, but the lies it slowly teaches you to believe. When people experience failure, betrayal, loneliness, or disappointment for too long, they begin questioning their own value. They start believing they're unworthy of love, success, happiness, or peace. Without realizing it, they allow temporary pain to create permanent beliefs. This is why so many people remain trapped in emotional suffering for years. Their circumstances may eventually change, but the story they continue repeating inside their minds never changes. Inspired by the wisdom of Dr. Joseph Murphy, it is important to understand that your subconscious mind accepts repeated thoughts as truth, whether those thoughts help you or destroy you. Your mind is always listening to the words you speak about yourself. Every time you say, "I can't do this, I always fail," or "nothing good ever happens to me," you are programming your inner world with limitation and fear. Over time, those negative beliefs influence your actions, your confidence, your decisions, and even the opportunities you allow yourself to pursue. This is why healing begins internally before it appears externally. The moment you begin changing your thoughts, you slowly begin changing your life. Many people wait for life to improve before they allow themselves to feel hopeful again, but true transformation happens the other way around. First, your mindset changes. Then your direction changes. Then your reality begins to follow. Think about the strongest people you know. They were not given perfect lives. They experienced moments that could have completely destroyed them emotionally. But somewhere in the middle of their pain, they made a powerful decision. They refused to let suffering define their identity. They chose growth over bitterness. They chose faith over hopelessness. They chose to continue walking forward even when they could not clearly see the future ahead of them. That decision changed everything. Strength is not about pretending you never feel pain. Real strength is continuing to believe in yourself while healing from experiences that nearly broke you. There will be days when your progress feels slow. There will be moments when fear returns and old wounds reopen. But healing is not a straight line. Growth happens quietly. Sometimes the biggest transformations are taking place inside you long before anyone else can notice them. Every time you refuse to quit, you become mentally stronger. Every time you choose peace instead of negativity, you regain control over your life. Every time you replace self-doubt with belief, you weaken the emotional chains that once controlled you. Your current struggles may feel overwhelming right now, but they're teaching you lessons that comfort never could. Pain often reveals hidden strength, hidden wisdom, and hidden purpose. The difficult chapter you are living through today may eventually become the reason someone else finds hope tomorrow. This is why you cannot give up on yourself. There is still power inside you that has not fully awakened yet. There is still potential within you waiting to be discovered. And no matter how broken you may feel at this moment, your story is not finished. Your future is still being written, and the next chapter of your life could become the strongest one yet. One of the greatest turning points in life happens when you finally realize that your pain does not have to control your future. Many people spend years waiting for someone to rescue them emotionally. They wait for approval, validation, apologies, or perfect circumstances before they allow themselves to heal. But true transformation begins the moment you accept responsibility for your own inner world. Inspired by the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, remember that your subconscious mind responds to the emotional patterns you repeat every single day. If you constantly replay memories of failure, betrayal, fear, and rejection, your mind continues producing emotions connected to those experiences. This creates a cycle where pain becomes familiar and suffering starts to feel normal. Many people do not even realize they have become emotionally attached to their own sadness because it has been part of their identity for so long. But the human mind is not fixed. Your thoughts can change. Your habits can change. Your emotional state can change. And once your inner world begins changing, your entire life slowly follows that transformation. The process does not happen instantly, but every powerful life change begins with small mental shifts repeated consistently over time. The way you speak to yourself matters more than you realize. Every thought you entertain is either strengthening your confidence or weakening it. Every emotion you feed becomes stronger. This is why protecting your mind is so important during difficult seasons of life. You cannot constantly surround yourself with negativity, hopelessness, and fear while expecting to feel strong internally. What you repeatedly focus on eventually shapes your emotional reality. That is why people who overcome painful experiences often develop new daily habits. They begin guarding their thoughts more carefully. They become intentional about what they watch, what they listen to, and the people they allow around them. Healing requires emotional discipline. It requires choosing growth even when pain feels more familiar. There will always be moments when your past tries to pull you backward. Old fears may return. Negative memories may revisit your mind unexpectedly. Doubt may whisper that you are not strong enough to change your life. But those moments do not define you. They are simply tests of whether you will continue believing in your future or return to the emotional prison you once lived in. Real healing happens when you stop giving your past the power to decide who you become. Your mistakes are lessons, not life sentences. Your painful experiences are chapters, not your entire story. Every day you wake up is another opportunity to rebuild yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Even if you feel weak right now, there's still strength growing inside you that you cannot fully see yet. Some of the strongest people in the world once felt completely broken too. The difference is that they kept moving forward one step at a time. They learned that confidence is not something you wait to feel before taking action. Confidence is built by continuing to rise after every setback, every disappointment, and every painful season. And as you continue moving forward, you slowly become the person your struggles were preparing you to become all along.